Hey racing fans, it is that time of the year. It is time for my Melbourne Cup Day tips. Now, obviously throughout the year, I've been doing the photographic format for a full day race card across 2 tracks usually. And that's what I'll do on Tuesday, so for tomorrow. Make sure to keep an eye out on my Instagram and Facebook. But it's been a very long time since I've did a video on YouTube for the races. And I thought it would be best, especially for the biggest day of the year pretty much, the race that stops the nation, not only to give you my picks, but to also give you my analysis and reasoning of why I'm selecting these horses. Now, for the Melbourne Cup, I will talk about 7 horses, but I'll narrow it down to my top 4, hopefully, and then I'll also mention maybe a couple other races throughout the day later on in the video. But let's delve in to the Melbourne Cup. At Fabulous Flemington, starting off with number 9, Valdeclair, drawn barrier 19, Billy Egan on board. Look, I thought his recent form has been good. I love this horse. His run in the Might and Power was brilliant. It was gutsy to get second. Then he had a brilliant run in the Moonee Valley Gold Cup. Also got a placing there. Running in his 4th Melbourne Cup, I'd love to see him do a repeat of 2019. Billy Egan this year has got to know this horse so well and has ridden him superbly. So Valdeclair, he's had his name in the Melbourne Cup a few times, and to get another trophy next to his name, gee, it'd look good, wouldn't it? And I'd absolutely love to see him have a good run. Number 6, Salcombe, drawn barrier 4, Joe Moreira on board. The Magic Man gets the call up. Tucked along nicely in the Caulfield Cup, Salcombe did get caught up behind Gold Trip and without a fight a bit in that run. But once he got some clear air, he actually hit the line well, picked up some good ground late. The distance is a tiny question mark for me for Salcombe, but let's be honest, folks, for most of these horses in this race, it is their first time, or they are horses who don't really run at the 3,200 metre mark. So, don't just look at your popular horses like Gold Trip and your favourites like Vauban, etc. Look at these outsiders who have competed with horses like Gold Trip and a few others, because they get that extra distance and they might show up on grand final day. I'm not fully confident with Salcombe. Maybe an each-way play for me. Number 1, you speak of Gold Trip. Look, J-Mac gets the call up, one of the best in the business. Going back-to-back is extremely tough in the Melbourne Cup. We've seen that in the past. I think he'll have a good run, and I know it's a big call, but I don't think he'll go back-to-back. With J-Mac on board, I think that's a good duo. Gold Trip has had the best 2 last months of racing leading into the Melbourne Cup Carnival for my liking. The defending champ has been travelling well. He's hit the line strongly. I think he'll be in the top 4 finish for this race, or top 6 finish. You look at the Turnbull, he made a statement. Then he went on to the Caulfield Cup, where he ran along nicely and got a placing there. And he even had a good run in the Cox Plate. He knows his distance, he knows his track, and I think he can still have a nice run. Will he win? I don't think so, but I'm hoping he's in the top 6 finish. Number 12. This is a bit of a roughie in the race, and a horse which isn't being talked about a lot, but I'm going to talk about him. Number 12, the Sharm Sweet Jr., drawn barrier 12, Daniel Stackhouse on board, drew a good gate in the Herbert Power, stayed on the inside with the rail in that race, and then as they came around the bend, peeled off to the outside, picked up some ground late to come 4th. He came 6th last year in the Melbourne Cup, where he drew barrier 12 as well, so it's a bit of deja vu there. Drawing barrier 12 again, he should jump well. If he wants to stay with the rail, he can, and then peel off again. I'd like him to get more to the outside. We look at his run last year in the Melbourne Cup, he did leave it a bit late to get to the middle of the track, because it was such a large field, obviously, as it always is. The Sharm Sweet Jr., a roughie in the race, who I think can have a nice run. And even if it doesn't win, I just want to see him have a good run. And, yeah, really surprise a few people, that's for sure. As we go to the next page, these are probably a few of my wild card horses, and I'll explain why. Number 18, Serpentine, drawn the inside gate with barrier 1. Jai McNeil on board, all the way from 58 kilos down to 51 kilos for the Melbourne Cup. A huge weight drop. It'd be sensational if Serpentine got up for Gai Waterhouse and Adrian Bott. What a training duo they are. Draws the inside gate. So just a wild suggestion by me. But could we have a repeat of a Twilight Payment style Melbourne Cup back in 2020, where Twilight Payment led for Jai McNeil for the whole race, and they strung out by, 3-4 lengths and beyond, and they just couldn't catch him because Twilight Payment won in a race that we never forgot, that's for sure. Serpentine will want the early speed. And yes, with the sticky gate, it's a bit of a head scratcher, but should jump well. I think Jai guides him through the race. He's probably going to be the leader in the field, but I hope he just stays back a bit. I liked Serpentine and the Bart Cummings, kept up with this pace, stayed in the leading pack and held on for third. He's always been in that top 4, or top 3 placing, so around the 2,400 mark and the 2,500 metre mark. I think he might appreciate getting out to the 3,200 metres, especially with the light weight. Personally, I'd prefer him to sit back a little, try and make a move around the 800 metre mark, and then get to the middle of the track, similar to 2 runs back where I thought he had a good run. So that's a massive wild card for me, which I'm not 100% confident with. Number 10, Cleveland, drawn barrier 23, Michael D on board. Got a brilliant ride by J-Mac in the Moonee Valley Gold Cup to win that race. It was a dream run and a good lead into this race, along with Valdeclair, who ran nicely to the line, as I mentioned earlier in the video. Now, Cleveland drops in weight, carrying 52 kilos this time round. He's drawn one of the wider barriers. Probably will want the early speed, especially to come across and join the pack from that wide barrier. Coming second in the St. Ledger, where he was very relaxed and lightly ridden at the 2,600 metre mark. I didn't mind that run. For the last 12 months, I've said Michael D wins the 2023 Melbourne Cup. He won the Caulfield Cup last year, so why not win the Melbourne Cup this year? It's kind of my, that horse that you take where you just go with your heart. So that's why I'm mentioning Cleveland. This is who he's on. Michael D and Cleveland. Gee, if they could win, it'd be, a bit of a surprise for a lot of analysts out there. Winning the Caulfield Cup last year, Michael D. Another trophy wouldn't go astray, would it? All the best to Michael and Cleveland in the Cup. A horse I wanted to mention, but I don't think will win. I just wanted to mention it because I think it's shown a lot of heart in the last month or so and the last year. It's number 8, Right You Are, for Johnny Allen, drawn barrier 15. I don't think he'll win, but will have a good run and could finish in the top 10 just from its, fighting heart that it shows on Grand Final Day. Coming into the straight in the Caulfield Cup, led strongly, but then got swamped by a wall of them and by the chasers. So a similar thing happened to Gold Trip last year in the Caulfield Cup, where he was leading and then Durston came over the top and, shook a few people. But I think it was a much closer Caulfield Cup last year than what we saw this year for a leading horse. So Right You Are got into the straight. The distance is a massive query for me, and that's why I'm steering away from Right You Are. So my top 6 would probably be Valdeclair, Soulcombe, Gold Trip. This is probably just top 6 selections, obviously, not in order. But Valdeclair, Soulcombe, Gold Trip, Deshaun Sweet Jr., Serpentine and Cleveland. I'll probably leave Right You Are out. And then my top 4 would be Valdeclair, Gold Trip, who else was there? Yeah, Valdeclair, Gold Trip, Deshaun Sweet Jr. and Cleveland. They would probably be my top 4 picks. If you are taking a punt, good luck, and as always, gamble responsibly, and make sure to drop your Melbourne Cup selections in the comments below. It's a race that stops the nation, and boy oh boy, don't we love it. So, a few other races in Flemington. Race 1, the first, double them down for me. Last start came second at headquarters. Last time finished well for 4th. I like doubling down. I think it's a good each-way play. Race 5, there's a roughie, Wahine Toa. Longer distance to the 2,800 metres. Probably likes it more that way, and I think will appreciate getting out to the longer distance. Second in the Stayers Cup, which was 2,600 metres. so can run these long distance. Waheen Toa Ruffy for me in race 5 at headquarters. In the last, I'm going with Lafargue for Billy Egan. Last start, dominant in the Geelong Cup, in the Geelong races, excuse me. Oh, gee, I wish Lafargue ran in the Geelong Cup. It's too long of a distance. Won by over 3 lengths at the 1200 metres, so should be a nice chance. Cepheus in the big dance for me in Sydney. Don't forget, folks, we've got Randwick races on your home of racing, Channel 7. Make sure to tune in. Flick through the channels. Make sure to be watching Channel 7 for our big dance, little dance. It's going to be a fantastic day of racing, as it always is. It's Cup Day and Big Dance Day, and don't we love the Spring Carnival? As always, you win some, you lose more. Gamble responsibly. Hope you back a winner. Gotta love the horse. Make sure you like, comment, and share this video out to your friends and family. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. And for more content, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram.